Forbidden beta decay. In beta decay process, we already discussed about beta decay and what is allowed beta decay. Today let us discuss about the forbidden beta decay. So if L is equal to 0, we call that type of decays as allowed decays. If L is not equal to 0, it is called a forbidden transition or forbidden decay. So this forbidden is only a technical term. Even if the allowed decays are not possible, there happen the forbidden decays. They are not actually forbidden. They are less probable. If these allowed transitions are not possible, then comes the forbidden decay process. So if allowed transition are not possible, then these are the modes of these forbidden transitions are the modes of beta decay. If L is equal to 1, it is called the first forbidden. If L is equal to 2, it is called the second forbidden, and so on. So when L is equal to 0 means the initial nucleus and final nucleus have the same parity. Then there comes the allowed decays. If there is a change in parity during beta decay, that is the parity of parent nucleus is not same as the parity of the daughter nucleus, then the mode of transition is forbidden decays. In forbidden decays, especially in the in the forbidden decays, there is a possibility for change in the parity. So the most frequent occurrence of forbidden decay is when the initial and final state have opposite parity, and thus the selection rules for allowed decay is violated. To accomplish the change in parity, the electron and neutrino must have emitted with an odd value of orbital angular momentum relative to the nucleus. So we already studied that the allowed transitions or allowed beta decay have two possibilities. It may be Fermi type or Gamow-Teller type. In Fermi type, the neutrino electron pair, the total angular momentum of the neutrino electron pair is S is equal to 0 because they are of opposite. They are of opposite spin. And in the case of an Gamow-Teller transition, the electron neutrino pair have a spin angular momentum, total spin angular S is equal to 1. So S is equal to 1 is Gamow-Teller, S is equal to 0 is Fermi type. So we already studied that the allowed transition have two possibility, allowed Fermi and allowed Gamow-Teller. Similarly, forbidden transition are also two type, that is forbidden if it is first forbidden Fermi and first forbidden Gamow-Teller. If L is equal to 2, it is second forbidden Fermi or second forbidden Gamow-Teller. If these two are not possible, we can go for higher forbidden, that is L is equal to 3, that is third forbidden. It can also have two possibility, third forbidden Fermi or third forbidden Gamow-Teller, like that. So the coupling of S is equal to 0 with L is equal to 1. L is equal to 1 is forbidden, first forbidden, and S is equal to 0 is allowed. So first allowed forbidden, first forbidden allowed decays. First forbidden Fermi. So S is equal to 0 Fermi, L is equal to 1 first forbidden. So first forbidden Fermi. So Fermi decay give a total angular momentum. The total angular momentum is 1 unit carried away by the beta decay. If the forbidden decay is a Fermi type, first forbidden decay, forbidden means L is equal to 1. It's a Fermi type means S is equal to 0. Its combination L plus S, that is L is given J is L plus S is given by 0 plus 1. So J is equal to L plus S, that is 1 plus 0 is 1. So the Fermi decay gives a total angular momentum of 1 unit carried by the beta decay. So that delta I is 1, 0 or 1, but 0 to 0 transitions are not possible. Coupling of S is equal to 1 is equal to with S is equal to 1 with L is equal to 1, that is first forbidden Gamow-Teller type decays. When this S is equal to 1 and L is equal to 1 combined together, J will give values 1 plus 1, 2, 2, 1 minus 1, 0. So that is 2, 1, 0. So the combination electron and antineutrino will carry a momentum. It may be 0, 1 or 2 unit of total angular momentum. So then delta is equal to 0, 1 or 2. Thus the selection rule for first forbidden decays are delta I is equal to 0, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3 and change in parity, because L is equal to 1 for first forbidden. There is a change in parity. So delta pi, there is a change in parity. Delta pi is equal to S. S means the parity of the parent and daughter nucleus are different. That means there is a change in parity. So the parity change minus 1 raised to L. If L is equal to 0, there is no change in parity, or it is an allowed process. And L is equal to 1, there is a change in parity. So that is first forbidden. First forbidden, there is always a change in parity. Then when L is equal to 2, it is second forbidden. In L, if L is equal to 2, there is no change in parity. So transition probability for L greater than 0 is always small, because allowed transitions are more probable than forbidden transitions. Forbidden transition, we call this forbidden transition because they are suppressed. They are not actually forbidden, they are just suppressed. The probability is small when we compare with the allowed transition. Forbidden transitions are only competitive if an allowed transition cannot occur by the selection. Then the lowest permitted order of forbidden transition will be dominate. So if there are possibility for L is equal to 1 and L is equal to 2, that is first forbidden, and if first forbidden and second forbidden, there is always the first forbidden decays are dominated over the second forbidden. So lowest orders are always more possible. In general, nth forbidden, the electron neutrino system carries orbital angular momentum L is equal to n, and this 0, that is the total spin quantum number of electron neutrino system is 0 for Fermi decay, and it is 1. The total spin angular momentum of total spin angular momentum and electron neutrino is, if it is 1, if they are parallel, it's S is equal to 1 for Gamow-Teller transition. If there is a parity change, that means L is odd. Let's write like this. Forbidden decay if L is not equal to 0. If L is equal to 1, first forbidden. L is equal to second forbidden is equal to second forbidden decay. Let us consider the first forbidden decay where L is equal to 1 and S is equal to 0. If L is equal to 1 and S is equal to 0, it is known as the first forbidden Fermi. If L is equal to 1 and S is equal to 1, it is called the first forbidden Gamow-Teller. If S is equal to 0, that means spin of electron and neutrino are anti-parallel. If S is equal to 1 means the spin of electron and antineutrino or neutrino are parallel. then S is equal to 1, this is Gamow-Teller and this is Fermi type. That is, if L is equal to 1, parity change in beta decay, there is a change in parity, that is delta pi is equal to minus 1 raised to L. L is equal to 1, it is minus 1. So parity. If S is equal to 0 and L is equal to 1, it is called the first forbidden Fermi. So the delta change in the angular momentum of the parent and daughter nucleus is delta pi is equal to L plus S. ഈ ചേഞ്ച് ഇൻ ആംഗുലാർ മൊമെന്റം ആയത് പാരന്റ് ന്യൂക്ലിയസും ഡോട്ടർ ന്യൂക്ലിയസും തമ്മിലുണ്ടാവുന്ന ചേഞ്ച് ഇൻ ആംഗുലാർ മൊമെന്റം ആര് ക്യാരി ചെയ്യണം? ഇലക്ട്രോൺ ന്യൂട്രിനോ പെയർ ക്യാരി ചെയ്യണം. അപ്പോൾ ഡെൽറ്റ പൈ ഈസ് ഇക്വൽ ടു 0 പ്ലസ് ഓർ മൈനസ് 1. ഓക്കെ, or we can get it is 1. Okay, so when we take the magnitude, so this is the angular momentum of the parent nucleus is equal to angular momentum of the daughter nuclei plus JeV. So this is the case of first forbidden Gamow-Teller. S is equal to 1, L is equal to 1. This gives total angular momentum J, L plus S, that is 1 plus 1, 2, 1 minus 1, 0, 0, 1, 2. Okay, selection rule for first forbidden transition delta pi is equal to 0, 1, 2, and there is a change because L is equal to 1, there is a change in the parity. For example, for the first forbidden, suppose N17 to O17, this is the type of question that that is frequently asked for your examinations. That is, it's normally this is not given, this is given. Okay, that is parent nucleus have the angular momentum parity, half minus gives 5 by 2 plus. So there is a change in first we have to change whether there is a change in parity. Delta pi, yes, so that means L is not equal to 0. So there is possibility is L may be 1, 3, etc. So when we calculate the change in angular momentum, it is 3 and 2. The change in angular momentum is given by 5 by 2, magnitude of 5 by 2 plus half to 5 by 2 minus half. That is 5 by 2 plus half is 3, 5 by 2 minus half is 2. So 3 and 2 are two possibilities. So we have to find out which is the transition. That is, if L, in that case, if L is equal to 1, there are two possibilities whether it is first forbidden Fermi or first forbidden Gamow-Teller. For first forbidden Fermi, when we consider the first forbidden Fermi, L is equal to 1, S is equal to 0. Then L plus S will give you the value 1. It is not here. So first forbidden Fermi is not here. Then let us check for first forbidden Gamow-Teller. In the case of first forbidden Gamow-Teller, L is equal to 1, S is equal to 1. So the angular momentum taken is J is equal to 2. L plus S is 2. It may be 2 to 0, 2, 1, 0. Okay, 2. If it is 2, here also there is a 2. So this transition is a first forbidden Gamow-Teller transition. So this is a first forbidden Gamow-Teller transition. Second example, Brom Br 76 to SC76. Its transition is 1 minus 2, 0 plus. Then let first we check whether there is a change in parity. Yes, so it may be anyone, L or 1 or 3, anything like that. So find out what is the change in total angular momentum of the nucleus. Delta I as 1 plus 0 to 1 minus 0, that is 1. So in order to get delta pi is equal to 1 for because it is L is equal to 1, it may be first, it is always first forbidden type. Then the only possibility is S is equal to 0 value. Then only L plus S, that is J is equal to L plus S. That is L is equal to 1, S is equal to 0. Then we will get J is equal to 1. So that is J1 is the total angular momentum taken away by the electron neutrino pair. That should be the change in angular momentum of the electron the parent and daughter nuclei. That is delta is equal to 1 here also. So it is a first forbidden Fermi. Okay, let us consider its example. Here 2 minus 2 state to 2 plus 2 state. So first we have to check whether there is a parity change. Yes, there is a parity change here. And delta pi, yes. So what will be change in I? So delta I is equal to 2 plus 2 to 2 minus 2, that is 4, 3, 2, 1 and 0 if there is, that is a delta I. So the possibility for delta I is equal to 1. Let us consider its possibility. There is a parity change. So L is equal to 1, S is equal to 0. First forbidden for me is also possible. And when L is equal to 1, S is equal to 1, there is a parity change, and also if this combine J is equal to L plus S, that is equal to 1. So it is possible. 1 is here, delta I is equal to here. This change in the total angular momentum of the initial and final nucleus is taken away by the electron neutron pair. So its angular momentum is 1. So it is possible, and let us check for L is equal to 1, S is equal to 1, that is first forbidden Gamow Teller. This L plus S is equal to 2. It is also possible. So these two are possible. Let us say that it is a first forbidden transition. So in order to find out whether this Fermi or Gamow Teller is possible, it is up to the reaction. So we cannot predict it by the selection rule. Okay, so we can say that this is a first forbidden reaction. So let us consider the second case where this 3 plus 2, 0 plus delta pi, no, there is no change in the parity. Delta I can change from 3 plus 0 to 3 minus 0, it's 3. So there is one possibility, delta is 0. So the only possible, there are possibilities. L is equal to 2 and S is equal to 1 is possible. Another possibility is equal to L is equal to 3 into L is equal to 3 into S is equal to 0. It is also possible, but we know that the lower L value is preferred. So L is equal to 2 and S is equal to 1 is possible. So this is known as L is equal to 2 means second forbidden. So second forbidden Gamow Teller. So this reaction is 3 plus 2, 0 plus is a third forbidden Gamow Teller process. These are some examples for you. You have to check which type of reaction is this, and submit your assignment in Google Classroom. Okay.